welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we're in the truck yet again, and we actually are headed to the Hot Rod Power Tour. Now, you guys might be wondering, well, why are you in the truck? Well, the problem is today there's a 95% chance of rain later this afternoon, and honestly, guys, I haven't had time this week to clean up the SS anyway, so I'm just gonna go to the Power Tour, park with the spectators, and walk in. Like I said, I just haven't had the time to clean up the SS. So let's go ahead to the Power Tour. We're probably gonna run into some people that we know, and go check out some cars. We'll catch you there. As you can tell, we're back home in the shop. You know, we got the SS, the Lexus, and the Corvette behind us. I had a really good time at the power tour today. My favorite car was actually a C6 Corvette. It was the red Grand Sport that was in the mother's booth. That car had a whole bunch of mods that were hidden on it, and there was no build details at all. So I initially looked past it and I didn't really notice anything. Then I noticed that it was a Grand Sport and it had carbon ceramic disc. Now I don't think you could order a Grand Sport in the C6 chassis with the carbon ceramic disc. Then I went back, I looked at it again, I noticed it had an LS9 supercharger on it. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, I wasn't expecting to see an LS9 on a Grand Sport. You know, we've got a little E-Force over here on our car. But, so, you know, it had LS9 blower, and then I noticed the supercharger itself said 427. So that was a, now I don't know if that was an actual LS7 block or if it was a LS3 that had just been bored and stroked out to an LS7. I don't know. But since that car was manual, it had a dry sump system. So it had a dry sump, LS9, a 427, and one killer intake. I don't think I really took any good video of the intake, but what the guys did was they ran the intake into the bumper assembly, and then from the bumper assembly into back behind the fog lights. So they actually cut a hole in the front of the chassis. They welded in a kind of like a tube adapter plate so that they could make a coupler fit, and you know, so you got your intake pipe going straight into the front bumper. And then I noticed behind the fog lights there were two filters. So there's a fog light filter behind this fog light and a filter behind the other fog light. Now the fog lights weren't there. They were obviously kind of doing some kind of ram air setup, but they must have also modified the ends of the bumper bash bar to add more pipe and be full intake. So that car had a cold air intake going through the front bumper, like kind of like, you know, take our pod filter off, through the bumper and into the fog light. It was a crazy setup that I had not seen on a Corvette before, and I unfortunately have no information about the car. There was no build sheet, there was no name on the car, there was no Instagram or anything, so I really don't know who owned that car, but I kind of wish I had more information to provide you guys. But that was kind of my favorite Corvette. Then my other favorite car that I saw was actually that Laguna that was in the Chevrolet booth. It had an LT5 out of the brand new C7ZR1 in it. And I believe it also had a Tremec T56 Magnum in it, so aka a TR6060 in it. And that's pretty crazy. So that was real clean. So there were a lot of cool cars on the power tour that showed up in Charlotte. I'm sure I missed a bunch, but you know, that is what it is with a big car show like that. Try to include a variety in the vlogs. So we had some drag racing at the very end. We had some cars out in the parking lot, and we also had some of the cars in the booths and displays. So I tried to provide you a variety of all the cars that were there, and just to give you, you know, a scope of how big that event was. And before we go, shout out to Tom W. out of Virginia. It's been a while since I've seen you. Really like the orange SS that you got and those awesome license plates. That was a pretty nifty idea for a license plate. I'd never seen that tag before, so it was pretty cool. So it was good seeing you again, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. If you want to know when I upload new content, hit the bell notification button down below. And if you guys want to help support the channel, click all the links down below. All of that goes to help support the channel, the bills, and the cars. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.